A quiet night, only the ticking clock filling the living room. Jungkook stood in front of a large mirror in his apartment, wearing an elegant black suit. His gaze was sharp, full of worry, yet there was something different about him tonight, something that pulled him out of his comfort zone. He glanced at the watch on his wrist, then let out a heavy sigh. For a moment, his eyes fell on a photo on the side table, a picture of him and Lisa, smiling together. Maybe this is the time, he muttered to himself, quickly putting on a black jacket before heading to the door. In another apartment, Lisa sat on her bed, staring at her phone screen. A short message had just arrived, "I'm coming. Be ready." Lisa furrowed her brows, puzzled. There was only one person who would send a message like that. Without hesitation, she got up and went to her wardrobe, searching for the simple black dress she had always liked. Her eyes sparkled, unable to hide the excitement of what might happen tonight. Jungkook descended the stairs of his apartment, walking briskly. His heart pounded in his chest. Although he had trained to face countless massive concerts, facing Lisa, the woman who could always make him nervous, was something else entirely. No matter how hard he tried to hide his feelings, Lisa always had a way of shaking his soul. His black car sped through the night. Throughout the drive, only one thought filled his mind: what will happen after this? In a small, somewhat secluded park away from the city's bustle, dim streetlights lit the winding path. The sound of leaves rustling in the night breeze whispered through the air. Jungkook arrived first, standing beneath a large tree, waiting. It wasn't long before Lisa appeared, wearing the black dress, her hair cascading beautifully over her shoulders. When their eyes met, there was a silence that no words could capture. Jungkook walked closer, and without a single word, they embraced. Everything around them faded into a blur. In that moment, there was only the two of them in the world. Jungkook's arms wrapped around Lisa tightly, as if he never wanted to let her go. Lisa closed her eyes, feeling the calm she had long been missing, as though the world had stopped spinning just for them. No words were needed, just that single embrace, which meant more than anything. Eventually, the embrace ended, though they continued looking at each other, as if unwilling to part. Jungkook raised his hand and gently wiped a tear from the corner of Lisa's eye. "Why are you crying?" Jungkook asked softly, his voice filled with concern. Lisa only smiled, though sadness lingered behind it. "I don't know," she replied honestly. "Maybe it's because I feel we've finally reached the right moment." Jungkook took a deep breath. "I'm scared, Lisa. Scared this is just a dream." Lisa held his hand tightly. "If this is a dream, we don't need to wake up." They stood there in silence, gazing into each other's eyes. That night felt endless, yet when they finally parted, there was an unspoken agreement that whatever they were feeling, it was not just coincidence. Back in his car, Jungkook drove away with steady hands. This time, there was no hesitation in him. He knew, though many things were still uncertain, one thing was clear: this feeling could no longer be hidden. The same was true for Lisa. When she returned to her apartment, she sat by the window, staring at the stars in the night sky. Her heart was still racing, yet somehow, she felt calmer. As if a new journey had just begun. The next morning, Lisa woke with mixed emotions. The morning felt different, brighter, yet with a lingering unease in her heart. She lay there for a moment, staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of the wave of feelings washing over her. Suddenly, the bathroom door opened, and at the doorway was a small box. Lisa picked it up carefully, her eyes widening at the words written on it, "For Lisa." Opening the box, she found a necklace with a heart-shaped pendant engraved with the initials JK. Inside was also a note: "I'll always be here, even if we can't always be together." Lisa exhaled deeply. Jungkook hadn't just brought feelings that night, he had brought something more. Meanwhile, in his music studio, Jungkook stood in front of the large mirror in the practice room, his hands trembling slightly as he looked at a photo of him and Lisa that he kept in his wallet. Something inside him had changed since that night. There was fear, but also hope. As he looked at the small necklace he had bought for Lisa, he knew it was a big step, one he could never take back. Suddenly, his phone buzzed. A message from Lisa lit up the screen: "I just opened your gift. Thank you. I don't know what to say, but I feel calmer now." Jungkook smiled faintly, though a heavy feeling still pressed in his chest. It wasn't easy to open one's heart, especially when the world outside might not always support their relationship. But one thing was certain, he was committed to this feeling, no matter what came next. A few days later, they met again at the same place, the park where they had shared that beautiful night. The sun was setting, painting the sky with golden-orange hues. Jungkook and Lisa walked side by side, unhurried, as if savoring the rare moments they could spend together. "What are you thinking about?" Lisa asked, glancing at Jungkook. Jungkook chuckled softly. "About us, about the future. There's still so much that's uncertain, but I know one thing, I want to move forward together." Lisa looked at him with a serious yet gentle gaze. "Does that mean we have to fight together?" Jungkook stopped for a moment, turned to face her, and nodded. "I'm ready. I know it won't be easy, but I'm ready for whatever comes." Lisa held his hand, and though there was still some tension left, she felt more certain than ever. They sat down on a park bench, side by side, talking about everything, dreams, fears, and the future that was still unclear. "Maybe we don't have all the answers," Lisa said with a faint smile. "But I want to live this with you, even if the world tries to separate us." Jungkook took her hand and kissed the back of it gently. "If we're together, nothing can stop us." They sat there for a while, letting time flow without rushing. That night was not the end of their journey, it was the beginning of something bigger. Many challenges lay ahead, but they knew one thing, they wouldn't face them alone. When they finally parted that night, there were no unnecessary words. Only a look, a brief embrace, and a silent promise. Jungkook walked home feeling lighter, while Lisa felt a sense of peace in her heart. Even though the road ahead was uncertain, they knew that with every step, they would be there for each other, waiting, trusting, and holding on to. In the still night, only the sound of the wind and their footsteps could be heard. But in their hearts, there was an unshakable strength.